Picture Earth 66 million years ago. The dust is finally settling, and I mean that literally. An asteroid has just rewritten the rules of life on this planet. Every land predator over 50 pounds, gone, like all of it. Now, that wasn't just a minor adjustment to the ecosystem. It left the top of the food chain completely empty. Something had to fill that space. You might assume mammals would jump at the chance. After all, they'd been waiting in the shadows for millions of years. But that's not what happened, at least not everywhere. South America, back then, was completely cut off from other continents. Like a massive island where evolution could run its own experiments. And when new predators finally emerged to rule this isolated land, they weren't furry, four-legged mammals you might expect. They were birds. These birds stood up to 10 feet tall, and the largest weighed around 770 pounds. The terror bird's main weapon was its beak, but this was nothing like any bird beak you've seen. What made this beak so effective was its construction. The bones were fused together tightly, creating a structure that could handle enormous force from front to back. This design tells us these birds didn't bite their prey, they struck it. Their flexible necks could extend extremely far, then deliver insanely powerful downward hits, pretty much like swinging a pickaxe. Terror birds weren't just a brief evolution experiment. They dominated South America for about 60 million years. To understand how long that is, consider that modern humans have only been around for about 300,000 years. These birds ruled their continent for a time span that makes our entire existence look incredibly short. During their reign, even the mammalian predators of South America, Sparacidons, stayed away from the open plains where terror birds hunted. Instead, they stuck to the forests. They didn't compete with the terror birds. They avoided them. The terror birds weren't slow, lumbering giants either. They could run about 30 miles per hour, fast enough to chase down most of their prey. When you can't fly away and you can't outrun your predator, options become very limited. For tens of millions of years, South America remained isolated, developing its own unique ecosystem. Then, about 3 million years ago, volcanic activity created the Isthmus of Panama. For the first time in over 100 million years, North and South America were connected by land. This connection triggered one of the most significant animal migrations in Earth's history. Saber-toothed cats and wolves moved south. Grand sloths and armadillos traveled north. It was a massive exchange of wildlife between two continents that had evolved separately for ages. Among all the large South American predators, only one successfully established itself in North America, a terror bird called Titanis valeri. It reached as far as Texas and Florida. The terror birds didn't disappear in a sudden catastrophe. Instead, they gradually faded away as their world changed around them. South America's climate was shifting. The Andes Mountains were rising, which altered weather patterns and transformed forested areas into open grasslands. In these exposed landscapes, tall predators lost a crucial advantage. They couldn't sneak up on prey anymore. Even a fast predator struggles when its target can see it coming from far away. The new mammalian competition from North America also played a role. Saber-toothed cats and wolves brought their own hunting strategies, refined over millions of years of evolution on a different continent. They were entering terror bird territory with fresh advantages. Titanis disappeared from North America around 1.8 million years ago. The last South American terror birds probably survived a bit longer, but not much. After dominating for most of the age of mammals, the mammals had finally caught up. Since birds are technically avian dinosaurs, terror birds were essentially Cenozoic theropods, descendants of the same lineage that produced T-Rex, just adapted for a world after the mass extinction. The dinosaurs didn't completely lose their throne 66 million years ago. They just changed shape. And for 60 million years, while mammals were still figuring things out, the terror birds ruled.